Welcome back. Salutations, everybody. Hello, I am Hans. Just letting you know, we're gonna just good old fashioned stress buying what in the whole part 99,000. What did you girl buy? This is my sneak peek of my container of Unearthly. We'll get to that at a later date, but right now we're just gonna sneaky peeky on what I've purchased lately. So hang on. Yeah, I totally got the Glam Light Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you? I was hoping, honestly, for a better color story. So, the mattes are a little thin, which is sad because Glam Light normally has really pretty decent mattes. So, I'm a little thrown off by these, but I am a sucker for Scooby Dooby Doo as a girl that used to watch Cartoon Network a lot as a kid. And hi, you can see me. Watched Cartoon Network a lot as a kid. This was a little disappointing. The lipsticks were basic. I just got the 2 palettes in a bundle. So, there's that. Another Glam Light purchase was the Bobby Dream Summer Dreams palette. And it's cute. Now, these mattes are better. And it's a nice from light to dark range, some mid-tone colors, and the formula is really, really nice. Nothing spectacular, nothing like Adept or Cleona or Divina or even Unearthly like shimmers and duochromes and multichromes. None of that. Just basic, nice, wet and shimmering metallics and shimmers, which are nice. You know, sometimes you don't need all that razzle dazzle. Sometimes you just need a basic. And it's really nice, actually. I think it's cohesive. Would I rearrange some of the colors? Yes. But honestly, it's a good palette. I thoroughly enjoy it. So, there's that. Here is my Odensai Sulamune 2 palette. I didn't buy this on initial launch. I waited. I haven't used it yet. But I do find it really pretty. I think the color story on this is really nice. It kind of reminds me of the Fancy Face Tina's palette, the Hummingbird, and another palette kind of had like a baby. And the Sulamune palette is its product of conception. Oh, that's so awkward. Forgive me, and also forgive me if I butcher saying it properly in Swedish. Because if I was gonna go Merc, and it'd be like Soulmane too. But I've heard Annelika Nyquist, and I watch some other foreign channels, and I follow Odin's Eye on Instagram, and you hear them saying Sulemune, so which is beautiful. I mean, all languages are really beautiful. So, pardon, I am trying. I do like this color scheme. I like Odin's Eye formula. I've not really had issue too much with it. I will say maybe some other palettes or maybe other like older releases where they were a bit not patchy but more of like a thinner formula, and then some of the color stories, like I skipped out on the original Sulemone because it just looked ashy. Same with another palette, it was just too ashy and I didn't want to mess with it. But yeah, so I got that, and I got the Christmas Eve and the Christmas palette. And you can't get these anymore. If you got them, love them, because these are beautiful. And wait till you see. I mean, you've probably seen the inside like 1,000 times, but wait till you see the inside. Look at this. This is beautiful. I've only used these 3 colors because I was just making a look, and just these 3 right here, fabulous. I didn't even use another matte. I used one matte, and I just literally was making a really super duper quick look. Oh, it's so nice, and it's so shiny and shifty. I don't know if you can catch that. You can see a little bit of the shift. So pretty. Honestly, this isn't my favorite color scheme, but I really like it as I find it to be cohesive. And here is the Merry Christmas palette, which I find to be also cohesive, but a little bit more my speed. Although I'm a sucker for purples because purples are my neutral, as in that was in the Christmas Eve palette. This is beautiful. This shade Elfwish, oh, it's a multi-chrome. I don't know if you guys can see that, but oh, so pretty. And everything about this palette is very nice. I've only swatched it. I've worn Christmas. It's so funny. This is more my speed, but I've worn Christmas Eve, but I have not worn this one. So I'm gonna give this a try, and I'm gonna be really excited because I can see a couple of looks that I would use, that I would wear. Like I want to really mess with these greens here. Definitely do something with the red and brown and pink because that's such a pretty color. Like the orangey brown and red, and gold. Like there's just so many fun combos to be had here. So I'm excited to play with this one soon. And I totally did get the Lunar Beauty 12 Days of Lunar Advent Calendar. I also bought the lip oils. They are in my bag. But yes, I did get the 2 lip oils that launched with this original release. We're just gonna show you a little bit of the... There you go. Just gonna show you a little bit. Don't want to ruin it for anybody that's really enjoying it. And that just wants to do one shadow at a time. I will say, if you don't want to hear this, spoiler alert, the colors of this beautiful packaging and palette are not what you get in the advent calendar. Let me just tell you that. This, if Manny gave us like a really beautiful iridescent duochrome, like this, the color of the moon, the blue purple flip with some blues and some purples and, winter wonderland, northern lights or something like that, aurora borealis. Like, it would have been so pretty. It's not what you get. You get about, I'd like to say, an autumn harvest look, which is beautiful in itself, but you're giving me a scene out of a winter wonderland, and I'm getting a cornucopia, vibe from the actual color story. But the quality is good, so I'm not bashing it. I pulled in a few singles to kind of jazz it up for myself, so maybe I'll show that at a later date. So let me show you what else I got. Yup, my unearthly palettes. This is the 1964 with Lily Munster. Like, at first when I saw the artwork, I thought she was holding a spider, but I didn't realize she was twirling her hair, which was so cute. And then the color of her dress is actually the color of the inside of the palette. And it opens like a book. The colors are beautiful. It is a very stunning palette. I will say, this is not my favorite of the 4 Halloween palettes that released like this. I will say this is probably number 4. I'm not ranking anything, but I will say this is like my least favorite. But this shade right here, 1964, beautiful. These greens, beautiful. I think it's in this purple 1313, which is so funny. 13 is my lucky number, y'all. I know I'm weird. I think since the background of the palette is the color of her dress, I feel like maybe if this was a deeper pink, it might offset and maybe enrich and make the colors and the palette itself look better. The quality is top notch. I will say it's fabulous, but color wise, I don't know, just something is off about it. And I love the Munsters, and I love Lily Munster, so that's what makes me feel like wah wah wah. Next up is the So Strange palette. Look at a beautiful young Winona, aka in the film Lydia Dietz. So Strange. And the gorgeous inside. There are multi-chromes, plural, beautiful shimmers and mattes. This one, I will say this is probably number 3 in my favorite of the 4 Unearthly Halloween releases. So, this is so stunning. Just look at this. And this is not just like a yellow gold. This is a multi-chrome. It is so beautiful. Can you see? Oh, there you go. It goes to green. And another color. Like, ugh. And this is a multi-chrome too, but it's very flaky. I will say a lot of these have a lot of texture in them, which is not bad. But I also have, I have texture on my skin and my lids, so it's not like I want extra texture on my eyeballs. Just trying to see if I can get more shifts on the mirror. But yeah, there's that. So let's try again. The weirdos. Oh my. I'm looking at it right now, the VHS tape of The Craft on the top shelf of my bookshelf. Top shelf of my bookshelf. Oh my gosh, that was redundant. It's on the top of my bookshelf, sitting on top. It belonged to my mom. And I inherited it. I took it from her because I remember watching that film when I was too little to actually understand what it was. And then I watched it when I was older and I was like, oh, this is interesting. But the artwork on this is beautiful. This is Farouza Bulk, the actress that plays Nancy Dowds in the film. And let's look at the inside. I will say there is a slight change in mine. Glamour, the original shade there, dried out on me. I will say I'm very, very sad and disappointed about that. Because here's the original shade. Look at that. Beautiful. This is Glamour. Look at how beautiful that is. Like, look at that. But it's completely hard panned. So let me set this down. And I'm literally holding this. And nothing comes off. I dug. Nothing is coming off. Like, I'm literally holding this with 2 fingers hard. And nothing is coming off. It breaks my heart that this beautiful, delicious multi-chrome is dried out and dead. I try to revive it. I have Duraline and I have eye drops, and I did every weird or contact, like my sister wears contacts sometimes, so I asked her for some of her contact solution. I tried everything. Nothing has revived this. Nothing. I can't scratch enough of it off to even use it as a pigment and like pack on the lid with a little glitter glue or pigment or mixing medium. Nada. Nothing. Zip zilch. So it makes me very sad. But this is the original shade. And this shade comes out of the Don't Be Jelly palette. So I popped a shade out and I'm just super sad. Now my Don't Be Jelly palette is missing. But, I just felt it'd be weird. Everything else is the original colors, as you can see. I've put a nice big dip in that one because this is a multi-chrome. It still works. It's still very wet. As you can see, it still has some life to it. It's still doing very well. But the color scheme of this is stunneroonie. Stunneroonie. Wow. Wow, Mel. English is words are hard. And there's another multi-chrome right here, Feather. And Feather is stunning too. I'm just a little disappointed. So I just replaced the shadow with one of the shadows from my Don't Be Jelly palette, which is just a really pretty duochrome. It's purple. I figured it would go with it. But I wanted Glamour because it was so stunning. But yeah. So I don't even know what shade this is. I'd have to look in my Don't Be Jelly palette to tell you what shade is missing. So this is such a beautiful palette, and I'm so freaking sad that the shade Glamour dried out. But I'm really happy to have this. It's a piece of artwork. It is stunning. The quality of the matte shadows, very rich, very buttery, just very thick pigment, like very, very nice. Obviously, Warms My Blood is next. R.I.P. Aaliyah. And this is her and from the film in 2001. It was filming was it Queen of the Damned. The artwork is 10 out of 10,000. Okay, 10,000 out of 10,000. Stunning. Stunning. Playing as Akasha. And then let's look at the inside. And the inside. It's beautiful. This, my shade Awaken, came completely broken, which is also multi-chrome. So, just taking a little bit of it. And I had to repress it. And then as you can see, like maybe there's some oil seepage. But it's okay. And everything else here, I like it. It's a little disjointed, but cohesive at the same time. Does that make sense? That just sounds completely contradictory. But I love this palette. It is so pretty. It is so... I have to say, it does add a uniqueness to my palette. Do I have neutrals? More than I can count. I have Neutral City palettes left and right, from Viseart to Loooooove to Too Faced to Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona. No. I've got neutral palettes everywhere, but this is like a really fun twist on a neutral palette, and it's really, 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 really pretty. Let me just emphasize that. Really pretty. It was just really sad that the shade came broken. I scraped all that I could to get it back in the pan, and then I pressed it really hard with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and I kept pressing it until it took form, and it seems to be okay now, and I can pick it up and use it with some glitter glue, so that's good. And this is a really nice multi-chrome too. Now, this is just a regular metallic, but this is a multi-chrome, and no, this is a regular shade. This is just a really nice, just really foiled metallic. It's really nice. So this is a stunner, and I'm so happy. I wish I'd bought two. Is that terrible to say? I wish I bought two. Wait, scratch that. This is like a multi-chrome duochrome. Ugh. I forget. There's just so many goodies in here. This was originally $70 USD. So the other one, the smaller ones, were $50. This was $70. And I will say money well spent because I own all four. I wish I bought two, honestly, so I could just literally use one and keep one on display. I know that's so stupid to say. Makeup is not to be displayed, it's to be used, it's to be loved and utilized and used up. But man, oh man, it's so hard, especially when the artwork I definitely kept the sleeve, the carton that this came in. I kept that because I'm like, I'm gonna totally display it. I know I'm weird, but this is so pretty, so beautiful. And last but not least, we have the Bard palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. I will say, I wasn't like hella impressed until I tried out the shadows a couple of times, and then I was like, oh wait, excusez-moi, pardon, what? It is very, very nice. I really like this. I will say all three of my Fantasy Cosmetica palettes, all three of them always come with a broken shade. I swear, no matter. Like, I'm not saying that to be like, ugh, don't buy from the brand. No, buy from the brand if you like it and if this is something that really speaks to you. But literally, I've had to repress at least one shade in each of my palettes, and I have all three that they've launched this year. I'm actually wearing the Druid palette on my eyes right now, which is funny. But this is a color story I jibe with. It almost seems a little chaotic-ish, but I like it. Because literally, I'm looking at it, and I was like, I can see 3 shadow looks, 4 shadow looks, 2 shadow looks, 1 shadow looks. And I'm looking at it, and I can see a cohesive story. And I really enjoy it. And also, the formula feels a little better in this one. The Druid palette, I will say, is really good. Although a few shades were a little dusty. But other than that, this is really, really, really nice. And, yeah, I purchased this and I have no regrets. None whatsoever. No regrets. Well, good people, that is it here. I would just like to say, peace easy. Please, can you please do me a solid? Please take care of yourselves. Take care of one another's. Wash your hands. Wash your hearts. Please be mindful. It's still hot out here for us peeps. It's still hard out here, y'all. So please take care of yourselves and one another. It would behoove you to make smart choices. Please, please, please. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Thank you so much for staying, chilling with me. Peace easy, and I'll see you in the next one. I don't know if I have a title card, but this is what do. Bye.